also amongst us. Ladies and gentlemen, they truly deserve a big round of applause as we dream on together for Pakistan's brilliant future. To set the stage and to understand how best we are going to explore and what is the way forward, how is the roadmap developing, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in now welcoming the Secretary from the Petroleum Division, Ministry of Energy, Mr. Mohammad Mahmood, for his welcome address.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. On behalf of the Government of Pakistan and the Ministry for Energy, Petroleum Division, it is indeed an honor to welcome you all to Pakistan Mineral Summit, Dust to Development. I am personally grateful to all of you for taking time out to attend this summit from within. Pakistan today stands at very important juncture, which potentially could pave way for rapid economic development and progress. This necessitates concerted efforts from all quarters to create an environment of synergy. Towards this end, the Ministry of Energy, Petroleum Division has undertaken a number of initiatives through formulation of public-centric policies with the objective of ensuring better service delivery and gathering an economic-friendly environment in the country. Pakistan is cognizant of the fact that mineral potential of the country can truly be realized only through people's development. Ladies and gentlemen, today's Mineral Summit, Dust to Development, is one of the strands of this broader initiative for transforming Pakistan. Minerals play a cardinal role in a wide range of industrial ecosystems, and their importance is rapidly increasing to secure global critical mineral supply chains. The significance of this sector has become even more important with climate change on the rise. The world is in need of clean energy technologies, which necessitates the sustainable development of the mining industry that depends on these green minerals. Nature has endowed Pakistan with a colossal supply of these minerals. I would like to take this opportunity to briefly apprise you regarding the abundance of this natural wealth our country has. At present, 92 minerals have been identified in Pakistan, of which 52 are economically and commercially mined. More than 5,000 small-scale mines exist in Pakistan, employing more than 300,000 people. Pakistan has established 2 large-scale copper-gold projects in Tethia Belt. These include Sandak Metals Limited and Rekodik in Balochistan province. Similarly, we are engaged in the extraction of rock salt in Khewda, chromite in Muslim Bagh, and coal in the Chamalang areas of Balochistan. It gives me immense pleasure to also share with you today that our research indicates that there are billions of tons of resources of both rock salt and coal in Pakistan. I spoke earlier about the importance of green minerals. To this end, the Geological Survey of Pakistan has reported the presence of high-grade quality lithium in various areas of Pakistan, particularly Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Jammu Kashmir. The government of Balochistan has already granted 5 reconnaissance licenses and 6 exploration licenses for the exploration of lithium and associated minerals in Chaghi and Washuk. We are eager to open business for more companies to explore here and other areas of Pakistan. We are inviting investment in mining of iron ore in Chaniot, metallic minerals exploration for minerals like copper, cobalt, gold, platinum, and other minerals in areas of Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa provinces. And the expansion of our Thal core project that you will learn more about today. These pieces that I just shared reflect only a fraction of the tremendous potential Pakistan has in the mineral sector. Ladies and gentlemen, we are particularly committed to two initiatives for the sustainable development of Pakistan's mining and mineral sector. The first is the establishment of National Minerals Data Center, expected to be completed in 2024. This project entails the formation of comprehensive database with GIS-based technologies to integrate and disseminate mineral sector data, including areas granted and applied for mineral titles, geological and geochemical maps, mineral sample analysis reports, road and rail network layers, and much more. The second is revamping of prevailing laws, policies, and regulatory frameworks that will catalyze mineral sector development for large, medium, and small-scale projects across the country. I would also like to take this opportunity to stress here that the government of Pakistan has recently passed the Foreign Private Investment, Promotion and Protection Act in 2022 that incentivizes foreign investment by providing various benefits to our investors, including tax concessions, export processing, and special economic zones incentives. Secondly, our policy reforms also covers aspects of efficient and transparent licensing systems in line with extractive industries transparency initiatives, occupational safety, health and environmental terms and conditions, socioeconomic benefits of local communities, and internationally competitive terms and conditions for mineral operations. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to conclude my welcome address by reckoning that Pakistan is a literal and metaphorical gold mine of minerals. The very fact that representatives and dignitaries for more than 30 countries have gathered here today is a manifestation and a testament of the minerals potential of Pakistan. As we envision a new future for Pakistan's mineral industry, I urge all foreign and local investors to come, explore, and invest in the mineral sector of Pakistan, because this is not an opportunity to miss. This is an opportunity to turn dust into development. I hope that you have a pleasant stay in Pakistan and enjoy the hospitality of Pakistanis. Pakistan Zindabad.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, when it comes to the potential is immense, but we need investment and expertise to turn this potential into a reality. And ladies and gentlemen, this again puts Pakistan in the forefront in the global drive to become green, in the global drive to become more sustainable, because all the aforementioned minerals and treasures that Pakistan presently has is what the world needs for alternative energy resources as well. If we are going to change the way we live our lives and make this planet sustainable, Pakistan indeed has a role to play in that. And understanding this responsibility, we recently have had a special initiative launched. This is the Special Investment Facilitation Council. It was launched in June, and this, of course, aims at 4 sectors: the agriculture, energy, IT, defense production, and of course, mining. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about the immense potential of mining and how it can be a game changer, not just for Pakistan, but for the world, we have a short video presentation. Let's take a look at that.
In the heart of South Asia lies a land blessed with abundant mineral wealth. Pakistan, the opportunity in minerals spans across the length and breadth of the country. From coal and rock salt to gold and gemstones, the diverse landscape holds a treasure of valuable minerals waiting to be discovered. Pakistan is blessed with significant deposits of minerals with an estimated worth of billions. Pakistan could transform the nation. The mining industry in Pakistan has the potential to contribute 3 to 5% to our GDP, but it now makes less than 1%. It is this very dust beneath our feet that carries a promise for development and prosperity for Pakistan, as well as contributing towards global growth. Musadiq project stands as a brilliant example of optimism and determination on a national scale. This project has gained investors' confidence in Pakistan's mineral sector, which was undertaken in partnership with Barrick Gold Corporation, a prominent worldwide leader in the industry. The government of Pakistan has created the Special Investment Facilitation Council (SIFC), a whole-of-government strategy to enhance foreign and local investment in Pakistan. The SIFC's mission is to facilitate potential investors in the quickest amount of time through a one-window operation. Pakistan has the potential to become an icon on the world mineral map. With continued policy implementation, foreign and private sector investment and technical cooperation, through this program we can create a future in which Pakistan's natural wealth serves as a beacon of hope for development and prosperity. Let's work together to unlock the country's full potential, invest in Pakistan, and create a thriving future for our nation.
It's a shared dream for a responsible, sustainable future, not just for Pakistan and the region, but of course the world. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now take this opportunity to invite our next speaker, who will present, of course, an overview of Pakistan's mineral sector. But more importantly, we know him as someone who's very passionate about Pakistan's energy mix and how things can be turned around economically. There may be a lot of naysayers, but our minister here thoroughly believes that a better future for the country and for the people of the country is possible, and he definitely has a plan for it too. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Minister of State, Petroleum Division, Ministry of Energy, Senator Dr. Musadiq Malik, for his presentation.
Your Excellency, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Shahbaz Sharif, Chief of the Army Staff, General Syed Asim Munir, His Excellency and a very dear friend, Mr. Khalid Al-Muzaffar, and many of you would not know, but we go a long way. In fact, I did a lot of work for Saudi Arabia, and we worked on the industrial strategy together. We also worked on Ma'adin projects together. So I have a long-standing friendship, and I'm very grateful that he made the time and came here especially. His Excellency, Mr. Kamal Abbasu, my friend from Azerbaijan, who've been great hosts for us and now great investors for us. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming. And Mark, now Pakistani, I guess, almost partial. Excellencies, federal ministers, particularly Khaja Asif Saab, Hassan Iqbal Saab, Mariam Sahaba, they are my coaches, they are my friends, and all other federal ministers, provincial ministers, secretaries, and most important, investors, and dear investors, and dearest investors, welcome to this conference. I would like to particularly thank the Secretary of Petroleum. I assure you, without Captain Mahmood, this would not have been possible. When I say this, I don't mean the conference. I mean all the work that we've jointly done and the tag team that we were able to build together. I'm very grateful for that. So thank you very much. My friend Sidra was giving the introduction, and she said, what have we been waiting for? 70 years. 70 years, and really, what have we been waiting for? We have a very simple dream. Our Prime Minister has a very simple dream. That dream is about prosperity, it's about growth, it's about development, and most importantly, it's about equity. Equity for regions which have been left behind in the race for development. So equity is the centerpiece of our dream. Prosperity, growth, happiness, and equity. Some sensible justice, particularly for the poorest people of Pakistan, is the dream that our Prime Minister handed over to us. How would this dream translate forward? We need to have employment. We're a poor country and we need massive employment, and we need middle-skilled or low-skilled employment so that people can take care of their families, people can invest in their children's well-being, people can service their parents. And that's what this is all about. It's not about minerals. Minerals is just one of the tools that we're going to deploy to achieve this vision. Next slide, please. So in order for us to move towards this vision, what is it that we have? Ladies and gentlemen, we have about $6 trillion worth of estimated reserves of mineral and coal and other precious metals. Rare earth metals, gold, copper, lithium. Not billion dollars. And I've been challenged on this, and I stand by it, that our estimated reserves, estimated of course, because we have to do exploration, we have to move forward, and we'd give you a pathway of how we're going to get there, but it's worth $6 trillion. We believe, our very dear friend believes, that one of the greatest revolutions, economic revolutions, has been led by the United States of America through innovation, through creativity, through ingenuity. And the icons of that ingenuity and creativity are Apple and Google and Amazon and a bunch of other great companies of this century. The collective value of Apple, each one of you is carrying one of their little gadgetry somewhere. It's a watch, it's a phone, it's something. And not just you, people world over. The collective net value of Google and Apple and Amazon is $6 trillion. And our dust buried in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Azad Jammu Kashmir and Gilgit Baltistan and Punjab and Sindh is $6 trillion. That's the kind of wealth that we've been sitting on for 70 long years. Next slide, please. If this is what we have, where exactly do we want to go? Where do we want to take it? What is our aspiration? So what we want to do is move from about $1 billion in exports to over $5 billion in exports in the next few years. What we want to do is create employment from 300,000 total employment in Pakistan across all kinds of minerals, mining, move from double it, from 300,000 to 500,000, 600,000, and as we unleash it, it would go to millions, because mining is what? Mining is nothing but employment. You put your little kind of shovel in the earth and you start to mine out. It's labor intensive. And that's exactly what we need. Something that's labor intensive. Something that gives employment to our people. And we not only want to just mine it out, we just don't want dust. We want to move from dust to development. So we are going to do value-added activities, and we are going to move from 1% of the GDP in a very short period of time to 3% of the GDP, and inshallah moving forward much, much more. If I move this needle just from 3% to 5%, all of these numbers change. If GDP, if the value addition increases from 1% to 3% to 5%, all of these numbers of employment and so on and so forth double. And that's the prosperity that we are seeking. That is the direction in which we are going. And that is what Pakistan should be and must be and is going to be about. Next slide, please. So then the question arises, what stands in our way? And what stands in our way are very simple things. First of all, we have dearth of data. We have preliminary data, but we don't have exploratory data. We don't have confirmed data. So when we invite our investors, we'd like to pitch to them sell-side books which have science-based evidence that shows them how much wealth can be generated from the dust that we have in the country. And I'm pretty sure Mark is going to today talk about the dust that we have and the value that that dust entails and the direction in which Ricco Dick and the leadership of Barrick Gold is going to take it. And there are at least 10 Marks sitting in this room. And we'd like to invite them all to Pakistan. And we'd like them to invest with us, with all of us, jointly, towards this journey of prosperity. We have divergent regulatory regimes. We have certain rules which are district-based, some provincial, some federal, some security-based. And it's impossible to put our arms around these disharmonized regulatory regimes. And the last problem that we have is that we need to be in the imagination of our investors. The lull that Pakistan has seen over the past few years, the quiet, as I said, look at the wealth that we have and look at how long we've been sitting on it. If you look at that, you begin to see that the only problem that we have is confidence, this belief. I mean, Pakistan on the radar as the destination site for investments. And we need to work on that. Next slide, please. How are we going to get over these hurdles and achieve our goals? We have a very clearly laid out strategy. We're going to build clusters, and we're going to do three things towards building clusters. We're going to seed mining as we have and as we are today. We're going to develop the infrastructure, and then we're going to move from mining to smelting as our friends Ma'aden leadership did. And from there, we're going to build up industrial clusters, small industrial clusters. Rather than selling dust for $100, rather than selling mined metal for $1,000, we'd much rather sell industrial goods for $10,000. That's basically how much value is created in moving downstreams. And Pakistan is committed, absolutely committed to moving downstreams. We would have our investors walk with us and we'll hold their hands and we'll walk them through this pathway of wealth creation. From mining to smelting to industrial clusters, indigenous industrial clusters supported by our local talent, supported by our local companies. The second tenet or pillar of our strategy, so this is how we're going to build clusters or do value addition. This is the first pillar of our strategy. The second pillar of our strategy is to ease the regulatory burden. The regulatory burden that we have, if you translate that into dollars, the red tapeism that we have in the country is debilitating. And we are going to crush it. And you shall see that, and you have already begun to see that. In this journey towards the prosperity of the poor, we're not going to let anyone stand in our way, and all red tapeism would be cut. And we're going to do three things in that. One, we're going to harmonize all regulatory regimes. The district, the tehsil, the provincial, the federal, they're all going to be harmonized. They're going to be 7 bullet points. Any investor who wants to come knows exactly what are the 7 things and not 700 things that they need to do. Number 2, before you put the shovel in the ground, you will swear by the shovel and you'd swear by your sweat that you're going to take care of the community. You're going to take care of the people who get into mining. Mining has some of the lowest standards of health and safety and environment. And we are committed that we are going to have the highest standards. And we're inspired by Finland, which wanted to protect its forests.
And it came up with the highest standards of environment about 20, 25 years ago. And right now, they are the world's largest or one of the largest exporters of environmental technology. We are going to take care of our people, our children. We're going to have the world's highest standards of health and safety and occupational kind of dignity. And we are going to take care of our environment. That's the second pillar of our strategy. We're going to harmonize and we're going to humanize. And the last part is that we're going to deregulate. So these are the three stages in which we are going to move from harmonization to humanization to deregulation, complete deregulation of the sector so that wealth can be created. And finally, we are going to win your confidence. Today is day 0. We stand here, the Prime Minister of Pakistan stands here and lays the red carpet for you today. And we promise to you that we shall win your confidence no matter what it takes. We would not tell you what we will do. We would ask you what it will take, and we will get there. And the three pillars of this strategic thrust are number 1, number 2, number 3, one window operation. Many of you have been asking and ask us as many questions as you have about SIFC. We are going to open just one window. We are not unique in that. Finland has done it, succeeded. Singapore has done it, succeeded. Ireland has done it, succeeded. Australia has done it, succeeded. Their ambassadors are sitting here. Ask them if they have not created this one window operation. Is this unique to Pakistan? This is the key cornerstone of our success. One window operation. An investor doesn't care what is federal and what is district, what is security and what is not. They just need a solution. You come to us, you come to SIFC, we present you with the solution. It's led by the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He's present here. The second pivot is that we are going to give very aggressive financial incentives, fiscal incentives, in order for you to invest. And we are going to guarantee through SIFC, that your investment is secure, that you'd be able to create wealth, you'd be able to take wealth, and you'd be able to create prosperity for the people of Pakistan. And the last part, and perhaps the most important part, is that we are going to move towards eventually diffusion of technology and innovation, and we are going to create a whole ecology of innovation around this dust that we're going to turn into development. Next slide, please. So very quickly, how are we going to, what is our theme for building clusters? Our theme for building clusters, as I've mentioned many times, and is also written all around the walls, is dust to development, not just dust. We promise you today, we promise to our nation, not just dust, dust to development, the entire value chain. We committed to it. In short term, we'd create the national resource map and plans. We'd completely digitize them and transparently put them on every wall in Pakistan. One click away. You go and you find exactly what you need to do and how you're going to do it and how much resource is there and how much value can be created and how. We're going to digitize everything. Within the short term, next couple of years, we're going to sign a couple of contracts. We're committed to them. But as I said earlier, before we sign the contract, as Barrick Gold has committed to us and is already delivering on it, you will have to, before you put the shovel into the ground, you will have to build the road infrastructure, you'll have to build the hospitals, you'll have to build the schools, you'll have to build the skills development programs for that particular community, because now you are an official community member. So you will take care of them as you take care of your own children. In the medium term, we're going to build infrastructure. By infrastructure, I mean energy infrastructure, rail infrastructure, road infrastructure. We have SN Iqbal Saab sitting here. I just saw my coach, Dar Saab, sitting here. They know exactly, they've done it before. They know exactly how to build this infrastructure. So we'll build the rail, we'll build the road, we'll build the water infrastructure. And most importantly, we're committed to building the energy infrastructure. We're already looking at geothermal formations so that sustainable energy can be provided for mining and smelting and downstreaming. And we produce green energy. The Prime Minister has already launched 10,000 megawatts of green energy plan. Inshallah, moving forward, it's going to expand much farther, and particularly off-grid solutions, particularly very beneficial for mining. We are going to put a sustainable base load and green infrastructure in those areas. And finally, in third phase, as basically we mine more and more, we are going to build up clusters, we're going to build up smelters, we're going to build up small industrial areas, and this is how we are going to move from dust to development. Next slide, please. Our strategy for easing the regulatory frame, as I mentioned earlier, is a simple one: harmonize and humanize. It's as simple as that, and I've spoken about it. I wouldn't take a lot of time. We're going to harmonize, we're going to create world-class standards, but most importantly, we are going to establish a world-class regulator. Because if we are going to deregulate, what we need essentially is a world-class regulator, which only thinks about one thing: the people. The only job that the regulator has is people. And people this regulator shall serve, and then we are going to completely deregulate the sector. And in this process, we're going to make sure that there are enough provisions for indigenization. We're inspired by the hub and spoke model of many countries, where the state enterprises served as hub, and through service level agreements, they improved the performance of all of those small local companies that Ali, you inshallah are going to do. We'd give out contracts to local firms, we'd have service level agreements, and over a period of time we'll build their capability and productivity. And in the long run, we're going to set up the SEZs and EPZs, etc. in that region. Next slide, please. And finally, our strategy for implementation, our strategy for FDI and linkages, as I mentioned to you earlier, is from red tape to red carpet. And today we lay that red carpet in front of you. In short term, we have SIFC, which is an institutional framework, which guarantees you that whatever we are doing shall stay. Because the custodian of SIFC is, with great respect, not just Mian Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif, but the Prime Minister of Pakistan. And whoever the people of Pakistan elect shall have the custody of this SIFC. And all the federal ministers and the security apparatus is going to sit in one room and solve your problems. That's basically the first red carpet that we're laying in front of you. And we have the apex level, we have the executive level, we have the implementation level, and you can ask me as many questions after this presentation is over about them. In phase 2, we are going to create a mineral development fund. Darsab has already created a fantastic large fund. Maybe we'll have a small fund of our own underneath that. So we'd have a mineral development fund. We'd build linkages between the academy, between our research institutions, our universities, the government, the private sector. You won't have to go elsewhere. You stay with us. We'll take care of you. That's the message. You have a technical problem, give it to us. We'll solve it. Don't go to technicians. We'll give you PhDs to come solve your problem. And this is how we're going to move forward. We're going to lay not red tape in your way, but red carpet for you, for your investors. Last slide, please. If we did this, what would we have? If we did this, we'd move from inequitable growth to equitable growth. Through this, we will make sure that our children who've been left out in the have. If we did this, we'd move from inequitable growth to equitable growth. Through this, we will make sure that people, our children, who've been left out in this journey of development and growth, particularly in remote areas of Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and remote areas everywhere, we promise you we'll bring you up. We'll work with you. So we'd move from what currently we see as, our Prime Minister sees as injustice over 70 years, to a fair, equitable development framework. We'd move from unemployment or low employment to massive employment. And massive middles in the short to medium run, low skilled and middle skilled employment, because that's exactly what we need, and that's exactly what minerals and mines provide. And you know what infrastructure is? Infrastructure is employment. If you link 1,000 kilometers from where the mines are to Gawada, what do? You lay a road goes through all of those broken villages, and it takes employment to their doorstep. You build rail. What is rail? Rail is employment. Road is employment. Water is employment. So we create a framework for massive employment everywhere. And finally, all of these imbalances, which I look at small problems, petty nickel-dime problems, we'd solve them. And Pakistan would have as big a surplus as any other great country across this world. We promise you, we're one of them. Along this journey, we welcome you. Along this journey, we promise to our children, we promise to our elders that we'll take care of them. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Musadiq Malik, for that very heartfelt, passionate message. You definitely have the ability to move hearts and minds. Ladies and gentlemen, for human life to be tolerable, it cannot be wholly mechanized. And as we speak about the time that has gone by and why we haven't been able to realize our true potential, it kind of reminds me of Paulo Coelho's Alchemist. When you have a dream and you follow that dream along the length and the breadth of the world, looking for that treasure of gold. But you realize that the gold actually lies where the journey started. That's exactly what the story of Pakistan is like. And again, we are inviting the world to come be partners in that, because Pakistan is going to not just change the reality, change the future for the country where we see ourselves as one of the most vulnerable to climate change and impact, to actually making positive impact and helping the world go green. And ladies and gentlemen, that dream has already starting to take shape. As Dr. Musadiq was already pointing out, we have some of the most significant global players right now present in this very hall. And we are very happy and honored to also have Barrick Gold Corporation as our partner in putting together Pakistan's landmark Pakistan Minerals Summit for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take this opportunity now to invite the Chief Executive Officer of Barrick Gold Corporation. Please welcome Dr. Mark Bristow for his address.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Prime Minister, Chief of Army Staff, Honorable Minister of Petroleum, General Wajid Aziz, special mention to you and thank you for all the work that you've done with us to make this such a splendid occasion. Honorable Minister, the one thing I always say to my people is, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And for me, you very clearly laid out a destination today. Challenging, I might say, but we have a destination. And so with that, there's a very real chance we'll get there. This today, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all, is truly a milestone in Pakistan's books. And this milestone, as the Minister said, didn't take place in isolation, and due credit must be given to the Special Investment Facilitation Council appointed by His Excellency the Prime Minister. Looking back at our voyage in this country, we go back to 2006. And it means a lot and many things to me. And it was that day in December 2022 when we signed the new Musadiq agreement that I knew this country was changing. And this deal that we signed has a lot of meaning. It was the first of real partnerships. We as miners mine all around the world. But the one thing that I'm clear about is that we are entrusted with our host country's assets. It's our job to bring them to account in partnership with the people of our host countries. That long voyage, those disagreements in the past, there's a lesson for everyone, and that is, in this modern world with all this conflict, you don't find solutions without dialogue, without openness, without engagement, without listening. And we're very proud of where we got to. Those ladies and gentlemen, lawyers, advisors, bankers who worked with us, and of course the politicians in Pakistan, to take us from a place where there was no agreement to today, because this is a culmination of all those months of engagement. And in particular, we're proud, I always say to people, a true partnership is when you share 50-50. A 60-40 or a 20-80 is not a partnership. And so that was the guidance for us in engaging, in finding a way, clearing the destination for Musadiq. And we're proud of the fact that we have 50% of Musadiq owned by the people of Pakistan. And that 50% is split, ably held by the state-owned enterprises, 25, and 25% of that for the people of Balochistan. And I would point out that this is the first time we've seen a deal like this in the history of mining on this planet. And what's more, the Balochistan 25% is funded by the other investors in the project. Building on my partnership theory, when we go to these countries, we have stakeholders. And how do we share the God-given wealth of our mineral endowment? And that is through embracing stakeholders, starting with the people of the country, as the Minister pointed out. And that is, we should pay rent because we should develop profitable businesses that pay tax. So that goes to the Treasury and everyone benefits. But it's about employing business, local business. It's also about employing people, and not just labor, but investing in upskilling the people around the mines particularly, but across the country. And we've already started that. We've opened our first primary schools in the Reko Diq region, and those will work. Those young children will be the future of Reko Diq, because Reko Diq is going to be there for multiple generations. We've also invested in the middle part, those people who are going to initially open the mine. And at the same time, we've gone to the universities and found the Balochistan students who have already graduated, and we are going to develop those people as leaders for Reko Diq into the future. And they're going to be sent to our operations around the world. Your Excellency, the Prime Minister, I want to stop there for a minute and just point out one thing. We all talk about strategic metals. I have a different view. I come from emerging markets like you do. Every metal and mineral that has a market, in my mind, is strategic. More importantly, it's not just about green energy. Of course, that's important, and we are already investing in that. But if we want to save this planet, if we want to create a planet that's safe, secure for our children and grandchildren, we need to develop the underdeveloped economies of this world. We need to uplift people out of poverty. And to do that, we need to industrialize. And my good friend from Saudi Arabia and his kingdom, they're leading that industrialization. Not the industrialization that got us here in the last 100 years, but a new way of industrializing, a more responsible way. And to do that, we do not have enough metals and minerals defined. And this endowment, this God-given endowment that Pakistan shares along the Tethyan trend from Eastern Europe all the way down into Fiji and Papua New Guinea. It's an endowment, it's another new Andean endowment like we have witnessed in South America. And so this day for me is special. It's a real gateway for all of us. I think I couldn't have done it better, Minister. And really, we as investors, it's about partnerships, and we appreciate the red carpet. But the other part of that is responsibility. And so as investors, and I'm sure that I can speak for my colleagues who have made the trip all the way here today from the major mining companies, at short notice, by the way, that we absolutely are committed to partnering with you in unlocking your endowment in this country. And again, just as a final note, that endowment doesn't stop with minerals and metals, but our human capital in this part of the world is unsurpassed and young and ambitious. And that is really the endowment that we need to unlock that treasure chest here. Back to General Wajid Aziz. General, when you sent me that email 20 days ago, I didn't believe I'd be standing here today with all this arrangement. So it will be remiss of me to say thank you to everyone who's made this happen. And more importantly, thank you, all of you who've made the time to come here, visit, those who have traveled from afar. And you know, I could stand here all day talking about Rikadik and my experience in that part of Balochistan. But talk is cheap. And all I want to leave you with is we are absolutely committed to walk this road, the road that the Minister outlined earlier, with you all in Balochistan. Thank you very much and enjoy this conference.
Thank you, Dr. Mark Bistro. And what you've said has been reiterated recently in a 2018 report by the World Bank, The Wealth of the Nations. They estimate that 77% of Pakistan's wealth is its people, young, ambitious, skilled, and professional. And of course, we require the enablement that has now been put in force as the SIFC. Ladies and gentlemen, this really is the thrust that Pakistan needed to catapult itself towards the possibilities. But we also have friends in the region who've done it before, who have the expertise. And we are very grateful for their presence and for them to always be there with Pakistan through all seasons. Now, as Pakistan embarks on this new journey, we once again require their expertise and their understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, for his keynote address, please join me in welcoming the Vice Minister of Mining Affairs, Ministry of Industry and Mineral Resources at the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Please welcome Engineer Khalid bin Saleh Al Mudaffir.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Cultural appreciation and mutual respects. Pakistanis, brothers and sisters, expatriates in Saudi Arabia have not only contributed 40 times, and lithium demand could grow by 40 times. So we must invest in underexplored new jurisdictions. Third, the world's fragile mineral and metal supply chains will continue to be under pressure. New jurisdiction will help ensure more resilient supply chains. The mineral-rich regions, which stretch from Africa to Central Asia, including Pakistan, that we call the super region, has tremendous potential to become a game changer in developing these resilient and responsible mineral value chains and providing the minerals the world desperately needs. Pakistan is blessed with vast mineral resources. Assets like the Titian Belt, stretching from Europe to the Pacific Ocean, is one of the most critical orogenic belts on Earth and is home to various mineral deposits, including copper, gold, silver, lead, and zinc. These deposits have been mined for centuries and will continue to be an essential source of economic development for Pakistan. Strategically located at the crossroad of South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East, Pakistan enjoys a unique advantage in regional trade and connectivity. This advantageous position can serve as a gateway for the regional and international markets, further enhancing the growth potential of the mineral sector in Pakistan. This potential is supported by Pakistan's diverse range of industrial expertise, from textile, agriculture, food processing, chemicals, cements, steel, and many others that contribute to Pakistan's economy. Pakistan is also gifted with a well-educated, talented, hard-working, and committed workforce who are making significant contribution to their home country and the global economy as well. In Saudi Arabia, 2.7 million Pakistani brothers and sisters who live and work there are making a great contribution to our economic development, which is led by Vision 2030 that is transforming Saudi Arabia into an economic powerhouse, building on the three foundations: a vibrant society, a thriving economy, and an ambitious nation. Since the launch of our vision for the future, the Kingdom has been introducing new programs, new strategies, and trillion-dollar giga projects that are delivering true transformation to achieving the economic revolution and unlock the Kingdom's full potential, including the National Industrial Development and Logistical Program, which aims to transform the Kingdom into a leading industrial powerhouse and a global logistic hub by maximizing the value of our mining and energy sectors while unlocking the full potential and local content and the fourth industrial revolution. The Kingdom also launched the National Industrial Strategy last year, building on a 50-year foundation of success, competitive advantages, and practical plans for real industrial growth from a base of already identified opportunities supported by a new approach into governance and policies. Prioritizing 12 sectors, including minerals, Saudi Arabia seeks to triple manufacturing GDP by 2030 and increase industrial exports over $148 billion. Saudi Arabia is currently the world's fourth largest and net importer of mineral. Giga projects and industrial transformation initiatives are expected to triple our local demand for minerals. That's why we are using the world's best and safest technology and centuries of know-how to further survey and explore the underexplored Kingdom and develop the identified endowments of estimated at $1.3 trillion. Over the past years, we have worked in a full transformation and development of the mining sector, including launching the world's largest and latest regional geological survey, over 600 square kilometers of Arabian Shield, with more than $1.5 billion to be spent. Developing a digital national geoscience database that contains 80 years of geological records, issuing a fully revised new world-class law that is competitive, provide for the security of tenure, is transparent, clear, and progressively embraces a new principle of ESG. Spending billions of dollars on infrastructure developments, including ports, railways, energy networks, and industrial mining city. But we know that no country can do it alone, and that even our vast mineral resources won't be enough to achieve our objectives in time. That's why the Saudi Public Investment Fund, PIF, and our national mining company, Ma'aden, created Manara Minerals, which was announced during the Future Minerals Forum in Riyadh last January, to invest in mining assets globally and secure strategic minerals that are essential for Saudi Arabia economic development, as well as the resilience of the global supply chains. We can only realize a sufficient, secure, and resilient supply of minerals if the government, industry, and other stakeholders collaborate. The notion that any single entity can solve the challenges ahead no longer applies. They are too great and complex to navigate alone. Multi-stakeholder collaborative approaches are key to bridging the gap between where the industry is and where it needs to be in order to produce minerals for a cleaner future in a way that achieves a balance between maximizing benefits for the people and minimizing harm to the environment. A key focus of our future forum in 2024 is to turn talk into action. Your Honorable Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we in Saudi Arabia have a clear purpose: to enable